Welcome into Soda City Living. We are somewhere very special today at Avalo. It's a cat sanctuary in Aiken County. Michelle, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
So excited to be back here. I came a couple years ago and this place has just expanded and developed so beautifully. So tell us about Avalo, how it got started.
Well, I'm from Canada and I moved here, I think probably back in 1998. And when I came, I met my first Bengal cat, and a Bengal is a hybrid. And I didn't know Bengals, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I realized that Bengals and hybrids needed a sanctuary place to go as well. So that's why I started the sanctuary.
Wow. So when did it start? Did it start back in 1998?
I became a nonprofit in 2013, so that was when we were officially a nonprofit, but I'd been doing cats all my life before that. So once we became a nonprofit, things just took off from there, and I started to meet all kinds of rescue groups and people that also liked Bengals, and then I got into the other hybrids like Savannahs, Safaris, and of course domestic cats are everywhere, so they kind of overpopulated the situation as well.
Yes, and we are sitting among many domestics right now, and behind us is the kitten house, so tell us a little bit about that.
Well, kitten season, for the longest time it wasn't really a season, it was all year long because of COVID, especially because vets weren't seeing people as much, they weren't working as much, so there were no spays and neuters as often. People were getting kittens and cats, and then when COVID stopped, they didn't want them, so it was an influx for rescues and sanctuaries everywhere. So I literally had texts and emails and phone calls every day for people wanting me to take their kittens and their cats, and I just couldn't do it because I'm only one person overloaded, with too many cats. So this became the kitten chateau. So we currently have, I think, 10 kittens that never got adopted last year. So they're technically not like small kittens, they're like young adults, like a year old. But they're all looking for homes, and I haven't had any kittens, I should knock on wood, I haven't had any kittens dropped off yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a nice little break from the past few years that were so crazy.
They can be very overwhelming, especially when they're neonatals and they need bottle feeding.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of care goes into all of the cats that you have here. So of course we just talked about the kittens. You also have other domestic cats here, older cats, and those with special needs as well. So tell us about those.
Well, it's a variety of cats. So for instance, we have one accommodation that has the CH cats, and CH is cerebellar hypoplasia. That's when they're born with an infection from the mom when they're in utero, and it leaves them unable to ambulate. So it could be very mild where they just fall over. It's also known as Wobbler's disease, Wobbler's syndrome, or it can be severe where they can't walk at all. So I've got 4 or 5 of them. And I've got cats that have FIP, which is a mutated coronavirus, which is treatable now. It used to be completely deadly. Cats with FIV, cats with leukemia. We have a leukemia house because leukemia is spread nose-to-nose contact, so they're not supposed to be making contact with other cats, and they don't usually live a full life. Oh, they can, but it's not very common. And then, broken legs where they need a leg amputated, or they've got skin conditions, or they're blind, born without eyes. It's just endless, the needs of all these cats.
So I'm sure it takes a lot to care for all of these cats every day. Give us a little idea of what all that entails. Of course, there's the basics like feeding, giving them clean water, making sure their litter box is clean. Anything else we should know about the day-to-day care?
Well, I start my morning at 4 every morning.
Wow.
So I try to go to bed really early, which doesn't always happen. So I get up at 4, and basically I have a helper, and we go around, we have outdoor enclosures. So he looks after the indoor cats, but they all need to be litter box scooped every day. Make sure the enclosures are safe, make sure that everyone's still breathing, there's no cuts or injuries or eye infections or sneezing or anything like that. And then if anybody's on medications like thyroid medications or antibiotics for an upper respiratory, I'm treating a bunch of cats right now for FIP, and that's probably added on 2 hours to my day, which is really ridiculous. So yeah, I've been a vet tech my whole life, which has been very, very, very handy.
I'm sure.
Obviously I'm not practicing now, but I've been a vet tech for over 30 years.
Practicing in a way.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm glad because that knowledge enables me to keep a lot of these guys healthy, and because I know what I'm doing, it's really great when I go to the vet because they know that I know what I'm doing, which is very helpful.
Right. So other than monetary donations, which are always helpful, what items could people donate?
Oh gosh, well, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes old litter buckets, when people are done with the litter in the bucket, sometimes those come in handy.
Okay.
Pillowcases are really good. Sadly, that's when a cat passes away, I'll bury them and wrap them in a nice pillowcase. Old wood or lumber from a building or something like that. I don't know, you name it, outdoor landscape material like decorations and stuff, like you see all these lights and things and ornaments, plants, anything, you name it. Somebody else's junk can be our treasure.
Yes,
exactly.
I love that. And then you're always looking for volunteers too. How can people find out about opportunities for that?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers. We can have volunteers come just to brush cats and hang out with cats, volunteers that can help us clean up after cats, volunteers perhaps if they have a trade like woodworking or they're artsy and can paint, you name it, anything that they can do is probably going to be beneficial. But even just coming to hang out with cats for a couple hours is helpful because the cats need the attention.
Yes, they do.
And we're only 1 or 2 people, so we can't spend time with everybody as much as we want.
Right. And if someone wants to learn about the adoptable cats that you have, where can they find some more information?
Well, probably the best place is to go to Facebook. I actually have a page called Avalo's Adoptables, although I haven't posted much on it lately because I need to get fresh pictures. So either that or my Facebook page, which is Avalo's Feline Hybrid and Sanctuary, something like that, Avalo's Feline Hybrid and Exotic Sanctuary. I also have a website. I'm not too sure if it will be on the website, but I would say my Facebook page would be the best page.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then you'll see all the cats that are available, their bios and pictures and everything to kind of bribe you in to come and meet them.
And one other important question that I forgot to ask, what does Avalo mean?
Avalo is short for Avalo Cat Sanctuary, which is the Buddhist deity of compassion.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.